Listen, the Steam Machine is in serious trouble.
I just wanted some sauce on those zingers.
So we know that recently Valve came out with an update on their recently announced Steam Machine, which is supposed to be coming out this year. And in that update, they said, we don't have anything to update you with. We don't have a release date. We don't have a price, but we pinky swear that the Steam Machine is coming out this year. That's literally what it boiled down to, which gives me no confidence that it's actually coming out this year. And I even doubt that it may come out at all. I want it to. I want one in my home, but with what RAM prices are doing right now due to the AI data centers gobbling up all the RAM, it's just a tough thing to believe that they could easily release that thing this year at an affordable price point. Now, also, too, depending on what region you're in, it has been tough to get a Steam Deck. There have been supply chain issues, and Valve came out and said that those supply chain issues were because of RAM prices and RAM shortages. It seems now to have eased somewhat. You could get a Steam Machine again, but it was tough for a while. Well, now it seems that you should be more concerned about the future of the Steam Machine and even the Steam Deck, because the Steam Deck in certain regions is getting, guess what? A price increase. Gee, who didn't see this one coming? You should have. This comes from respawn.com. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. Valve's handheld gaming device is about to get more expensive in parts of Asia. Retailer Komodo has confirmed that the Steam Deck OLED will see a price increase starting March 6, 2026, tomorrow, across Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. According to the official announcement, the change comes after ongoing logistics cost pressures and recent currency fluctuations that have impacted regional pricing since launch. The gaming industry at large is facing shortages, notably for RAM, storage, and graphics cards. So what are the prices going to increase to? The revised pricing applies to both available OLED storage models. In Japan, the 512 gigabyte Steam Deck OLED has gone up from 84,800 yen, about $547, to 99,800 yen, about $644, almost a full $100 price increase. While the 1 terabyte version has increased from 99,800 yen, about $644, to 114,800 yen, to $740 US dollars. This represents a rise of roughly 15k yen, or about $97 across both configurations. Now, in South Korea and Taiwan, they've also had price increases on the Steam Deck, albeit not as extreme. In South Korea, the 512 gigabyte model has moved from 839,000 won, about $583, to 898,000 won, about $624. And the 1 terabyte version has increased to 989,000 won, about $687, to about 1,048,000 won, about $728. And Taiwan has the least egregious price increases. It's like $602 originally for the 512 gigabyte Steam Deck to $605. And the 1 terabyte variant of the Steam Deck in Taiwan went from $700 to $716. So it's not as damning of a price increase there as it is in other regions. So this should raise a bunch of red flags for the Steam Machine, because keep in mind, the Steam Deck is now over 4 years old. Let that sink in. Impressively enough, it's essentially the Steam Deck, this is actually positive news, is having a full console life cycle, which is pretty damn impressive. I didn't expect the Steam Deck to have this long of a shelf life. But my point being is that it is over a 4-year-old piece of tech. Now, I know the OLED came out later on, but it's still the same guts essentially inside of it. And now Valve is having to do price increases in certain regions on that over 4-year-old device. What the hell does that mean for the Steam Machine? What is this going to mean for availability of the Steam Machine, if nothing else? And when it comes to the market, what the hell is it going to cost if they have to raise the price of their 4-plus-year-old hardware that they released? Now, even if Valve gets the prices to remain reasonable on the Steam Machine, what's going to happen to availability? Is it going to be something that a handful of people could get once every like 3 weeks when there's some stock? That's going to hurt the sales of it. And because people can't get their hands on it, I know what you can't have, you want, but eventually you're just like, all right, I'm moving on. I'll make my own Steam machine. I'll just get AMD hardware, build one or whatever. Or you'll just lose interest because you can't get your hands on it. And it's human nature. After a certain amount of time, it's like, all right, whatever. I'm going to get something else or do something else to substitute for the Steam machine because obviously I'm not going to get one. And then going back to the price of the Steam machine, what the hell is it going to cost? With RAM prices exploding, Valve isn't Nintendo. They're not subsidizing the price of the console like Nintendo does and Sony does, where they'll sell it at a loss, but they know you're going to be in their ecosystem and they'll make the money back on games, on signing up for PSN or Nintendo Switch Online, on accessories, so on and so forth. Valve isn't doing that. So they have to pass on the cost completely to the consumer. What do you think is going to happen? If the Steam machine, let's say the 512 gigabyte model cost $800, hopefully it costs less, but who the hell knows at this point? And the 2 terabyte Steam machine could possibly cost $1,000. I'm not saying it's going to, but there has been some leaks hinting at that. Again, like I said back then, take them with a grain of salt, but it's not off the table. People are going to spend $1,000 on a mid-range consoleized gaming PC. Maybe in 2026 they will, but I know plenty of people that have said to me, and I'm not talking on the internet because I know I have people that I know in real life that are enthusiasts with this stuff. They're like, nah, man, if that thing's $1,000, it's too rich for my blood. So if that's the prices that Valve has to release the Steam machine at, what's going to happen? Is it going to be a failure? There's a good chance it could be. So look, I'm hoping that the Steam machine comes out this year, and I'm hoping that is absolutely amazing. But with everything going on here, with Valve having to raise the price of the Steam Deck in certain regions, with the Steam Deck being out of stock due to the fact they can't get their hands on parts like RAM due to the raising RAM prices and the shortages of RAM, I don't know, man. We'll have to see what happens, but I'm very concerned about Valve's upcoming Steam machine, if it's upcoming at all. This is Rich of Review Tech USA, signing out. Have a good one.